My friend and I were paid to steal a sign and got caught, kind of. My friend 16 male and I 18 male are both almost out of money, so we approached our older friend who always has a job. He said he would pay us to steal a sign out in the woods. The city just chopped down a bunch of trees and he needed the private property sign gone so he could go in and load as much wood as possible. We went out wheeling one night and he brought us to the spot, but my friend and I were too drunk to realize he was talking about government property and a government sign. We go out the next day in the middle of the night in my old car. Our older friend told us the road the sign was on has cameras, so we removed my back plate about a mile away and were also going to remove my front plate, but I forgot it's not screws, it's bolts on the front. We backed into the road and I sat in the car waiting for my friend. We had to cut the sign in half since it was pretty long and my old car isn't big. I was wondering what was taking so long, so I go out to check on my friend and I see that the handsaw broke. He tried to use the serrated part of his knife, but then his knife broke. I ended up holding the sign while he used the piece of metal off the handsaw trying to cut the sign as fast as he could. About 10 minutes later a truck pulled up on the main road and sat in front on my car for a few seconds, most likely to write down my plate, then pulled in next to my car. My friend's girlfriend came with us and got out of the back seat to see what the woman in the truck had to say. She told us we were on private property and had to leave, then left. As soon as she was gone down the main road, my friend stood up, jumped on the sign and it broke. We put everything in the trunk and drove back to town in the opposite direction. As we were driving back to town, the same truck passed us, probably looping around to see if we were still there. When we were unloading everything is when we finally realized the sign is government property and we just committed several felonies. A week later the sign is hidden off my property. We aren't wearing the same clothes we did that night for a while, my old car is chilling out of sight, and I finally calmed down. The lesson learned from that experience: always bring a backup saw.